Okay. Good morning, team. Good morning, team. It is 11 o'clock. It is the power hour. My name is Amaka Anderson for all those who don't know me. And today I'll be discussing how to find annuity money. All right. So first and foremost, can anybody explain to me what is an annuity? Let's go over what is an annuity. And this is going to be an interactive class. So you can unmute and tell me what you think is an annuity.
Provides income for the retirement.
Okay, that's good. It does provide some income for retirement. What else?
It's an insurance contract.
Protection.
What was that one at a time? What you say, Kevin?
A compound interest account.
Compound interest account. Okay.
Like a way to protect your money.
Yep, it is a protection for our assets. Yep. Anyone else?
It's like a savings account where you build interest over time.
Yeah, it does build interest. And
Okay.
we could put it in that concept like a high interest savings account. So all right, guys, all of you guys' answers were correct. An annuity is an insurance contract, right? Issued and distributed by a financial institution with the intention of paying out invested funds into a fixed income stream of life for the future, right? So all of the answers you gave were correct. Typically, an annuity participates in the market. Everybody ever heard of the S&P 500? Anybody know what the S&P 500 is?
Yeah, isn't it basically a collection of the top 500 companies in the stock market?
Okay. Yep. Top 500 companies. So annuity gives our clients the go ahead, if you say the say so, to participate in the market, the gains in the market, but they do not participate in the loss in the market because it is an insurance contract, right? So today I'm gonna cover like what I think is the 4 quadrants or the keys of success in order to find that money and find that annuity, right? So yesterday we were on the Annuity 101 call, and they also had the SRS call, right? And they spoke about 4% of the whole entire Family First Life agents write annuity. And that's weird because I just read that the annuity is an insurance contract. So how many people how many people before the class thought that an annuity was an insurance contract? And be honest, before the class, you thought that an annuity was the insurance contract. I ain't even gonna hold y'all. Before I started selling annuities, I ain't think it was an insurance contract. So it's no different than what we're selling every day. It is a part of the insurance company, right? So the first step, I think, for the keys to success is having your script. How many people use a script when they're selling every day? Everybody should be using a script when they sell every day. I still use a script. Corinne uses a script. Kali uses a script. And also along with the script, we have our objections, right? All right, this is an interactive class, y'all. We ain't got to be on mute. We ain't got to be on mute, right? So with the script comes the objections. That is a part of the script, guys. Let me tell you what the script does sell you. The script sells you confidence. It makes you competent in what you're talking about. And it gives you the ability to actually be the professional, right? Alongside of the script, what else do we need to be successful while we're selling life insurance? And everybody should have their hand up. That's the second quadrant of what we're talking about today.
Live dials.
Live dials is one. That's correct, but it goes alongside the script. If we're selling life insurance, we always should have this next.
Client intake sheet.
Who just said that?
Erica.
Okay, the client intake sheet. So the script is the guideline of what's driving us, how we sell our life insurance product, but what does that client intake sheet does? We tell them that we're going to do two things while we're selling life insurance. We tell them that we're going to ask a few medical questions. And the other thing we tell them that we're going to do is we're going to ask a few financial questions. So we record the medical questions, but we're also recording the financial questions on the script. So we're going to see how many people are using the client inventory sheet to produce their financial questions. What is on the client inventory sheet?
Do
Ask
you
if
have any
they're employed.
401ks, CDs? Yeah.
Bank information, if they already have life insurance,
If they're employed, or they're retired or disabled.
their 401ks, IRAs, stocks, or CDs, their beneficiary, that information, their height and weight, the medical questions, if they have any major health problems, diabetes, cancer, heart issues.
Yep, Medicare, Medicaid.
Yep.
It also asks what institutions they bank with.
Yeah, some of them do, right? All right, so I'm gonna show you guys what client inventory sheet I use right now. And I'm gonna tell you, and everybody could tell me if they see. I know it's like it ain't the best copy, but this is the exact client inventory sheet. And I'm gonna tell you guys, Khalid can tell you, Corinne can tell you, I know my script inside out. But before I started doing mortgage protection, I've never used the client inventory sheet. And if I did use the client inventory sheet, I only used it for the medical conditions and never, ever asked, what do you have that to offset the cost of your mortgage, right?
You
So the
said you don't
client,
ask that?
what's that?
Said you don't ask that?
I said, prior to doing mortgage protection, I've never asked any clients, what do you have to offset your mortgage? And that's when the golden question would have came in for me.
Gotcha.
Right? So most scripts don't have the golden question in there because they actually think that you're going to use the client inventory sheet. So this is where the client inventory sheet comes in. So you may have said in the script that you're going to ask a few medical questions, a few financial questions, and just depending on how you answer those, it'll typically give you a great idea what companies will approve you or which ones might decline you. So you're not lying. You can start off, right? And I typically start off, I ask the clients, what are their medical questions? That's block 1 on this client inventory sheet, right? Some of the information you already know, their name, their age. You can ask their occupation, their monthly income. Typically, when I say your monthly income, I ask them, hey, how much are you able to save? Sometimes they don't want to give their monthly income. I reverse the question and say, how much are you able to save on a monthly basis? I don't typically ask medications unless there's a big solution I can't figure out. I go with the diagnosis, any surgeries, who would be their beneficiaries. Hey guys, regardless of an annuity or insurance, the insurance sale is an emotional sale. Can everybody agree?
Mm-hmm.
It's an emotional sale. So you want to ask, who are your beneficiaries? If anything were to happen to you and you didn't walk into your door yesterday, who would be picking up the pieces today? So that's where they ask for family. That where you put that in. This is a mortgage protection sheet. So I also pulled up the other client worksheet. So we're going to review that too. But this is for mortgage protection. I use it on any sale. I ask them, hey, do you have mortgage? How much is your house value? How much is the equity in your home? The term? Would you like to pay off the loan? Do they pay any extra when it comes to the mortgage, and you're asking them if they pay any extra? You're finding the money as well, right? And then, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about finding the money after with that. So then block 4 is telling you how to go. Medical questions, name information. 3, number 4, what do you have to offset the cost of the mortgage if you were to die? And if it's not that question on the other client worksheet, it should say, what do you have that acts like life insurance right now? A 401k, a IRA, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, CDs, any significant savings, anything under the mattress. How many people find themselves? I want to look at the class. How many people actually ask that question?
Well, it's on the sheet. I asked it. I'll just read it off the sheet.
2 people?
Oh, no, ma'am. The asking a question about like the stock, IRA, and
It's right on here.
yes, ma'am.
Everybody should be asking the question. Here's what, this is the only way you're going to find the money. If we were dead set in a sale, and then I do say, hey, the person says, yeah, I used to work at Candy Canes. I got 100K in my old 401k. I circled the 401k. I put 100K at the amount part, and I keep it moving. Why are you keeping it moving? What's the next step of the sale?
Oh, would you?
Get their medical information.
No.
You'll ask them if they're looking to like have pretty much like have it grow, and then you tell them like we can come back to that later after we get the insurance out the way. Are you looking for like a safe place to put it to where it can grow?
All right. So after you get that they have 100K in their 401k, what you're doing from there is continuing to that life insurance sale, that mortgage protection sale. You are going to get that sale, but you ask the golden question. Hey, you find out that they had 100K in their stocks, bonds, or their mutual fund, or they have 100K just sitting in the bank. You write the amount, you finish that actual sale, and then you come back. Why are we doing that?
Because you're prepping them.
You want to keep them focused on the insurance and what you originally called for. So you don't want to lose that sale and get them confused on talking about other stuff, and they're not locked in now.
Yep. You lock in and you focus back to what the original, if it was mortgage protection, if it was an IUL client, you're focused back on them. And then you revisit that. So you close that actual sale that you were focused on, right? All right. And let me share the other client worksheet so we could see both, and you can actually see that it's asking you to take inventory of the client.
Can you post the sheet that you use? Because
I can.
I'm using the client worksheet that.
No, Mark, just use the one that you have.
Yeah.
This is the one that Amaka's posting now.
All right. So you may find this client worksheet, and this client worksheet is for everything, right? So it's asking the same thing. And I like it too, because it's in order. Name, age. Are you retired, working? Do you have Social Security, pension, or both? Medicare, Medicaid? You have any current life insurance, 401k, IRA, stocks, bonds, TSP? Everything is right here. What do you like? A burial or cremation? This keeps you in line from the top to the bottom. So this is the client worksheet that everybody should be using. Everybody know where to find it?
FFL, national.
Okay. All right. So on the National Hub, you could go to Agent, start here, you go to Downloads, and then you download the client worksheet. Everybody should have this. All right. So just to go over, what does the golden question look like? What is the golden question?
Do you have anything to add like a life insurance?
Yup. And what else are you gonna say with it?
Oh, 401k, stock, bonds, mutual funds, IRAs, anything underneath the mattress, anything in the savings.
All right. I'm telling you guys, once you start asking this question, you will find the money. I've never used the client worksheet to that extent where prior I sold only life insurance. I wasn't selling no annuities. The minute I started using the client worksheet and inserting that one question, it changed the dynamics of my business, right? So we got the script, we got the client worksheet, we know where to find the client worksheet, right? So after we found the money, so we asked a series of questions. What will happen? For me, I think y'all should write this down. What does it look like for your family? Because you will get objections. Tiffany spoke about objections. It's the same thing. You asking people about money. Some people think that their money are precious. Here's what. One of the questions I like, what does it look like, Mark, for you for your wife yesterday? If yesterday you didn't come home, what would today look like for her? What would she be picking up the pieces with? That's an emotional question, right? All right. And how you segue into getting the professional, because nobody's on the call is writing annuities except for KG and Kali, right? So how you segue into the call, y'all get a pen and piece of paper. Y'all ready?
Yes, ma'am.
So you already asked, you found 100K. Now you ask, if I can show you a way that you can continue to capture the gains when the market is up. Y'all writing?
Yes, ma'am.
And I can also show you a way that I can guarantee that you never lose a penny. Would that be something you're interested in?
Amaka, can you repeat that one more time, please?
If I can show you a way that you can continue to capture the gains in the market when the market is up, and I can guarantee you will never lose a penny, would that be something you might be interested in? Y'all got that?
Is it okay to hear one more time, please, ma'am?
Yeah. Kali wrote it in the chat. So she says, if I can show you a way to take advantage of the gains in the market when the market is up and never lose a penny, would that be something you'd be interested in? And 9 times out of 10 for me, people say yes. And I tell them, here, I'm not selling you anything. I'm going to make a recommendation. But the great thing about it is we have a team of people that are going to oversee my recommendation and tell you what would be best for you. Right? And then 9 times out of 10, I start selling Kali, or I start selling Corinne, or I start selling Frank. Hey, they're a subject matter expert. I'll put the recommendation in, they'll oversee. But 9 times out of 10, well, not 9 times out of 10, you will need help in the beginning writing annuities. So that's why I'm saying, hey, I'll make a recommendation, but my supervisor, Miss Somerville or Miss Giles or Mr. Euphemia, is a subject matter expert. They've been doing this for 10 to 14 years. They're going to be here for the appointment. And from there, I'll schedule an appointment. Why is that so important, guys?
Do it like that, okay, us as a beginner, we may actually fumble it and we won't actually get the sale. But if we have an expert, we have them coaching us the way and we can still watch and learn. So therefore in the future, we actually know how to do it ourselves.
Absolutely. And then the other thing is people like your transparency. Hey, I'm not the subject matter expert, but here my boss, Miss Somerville, she's been doing this for about 10 to 14 years. Mr. Euphemia, he's been doing this about 10 to 14 years. And they got their foot on the gas with doing this. They've been watching their clients make a lot of money and just protecting you from the loss. And one thing that Mike told me, for people that have their old 401ks or their TSPs just sitting there, one thing he told me, that you're not putting too much about, you're trying to tell them about numbers and what it is. You're making this simple. You're saying, hey, you can participate in the market if the market is up. If the market is down, you will suffer no loss because this is still an insurance company. One bonus that I think Mike gave me that I get the clients all the time is if you have an old product sitting there and let's say it's been sitting there for 2 years and the market is down, they're losing money. But if they had a product and they were with their job and they're actively contributing, they can bounce back. But can you bounce back from your loss when you're not contributing?
No.
You're just losing money, right? So I tell them, hey, all I know is that you're taking a risk. For 2 years, you've been taking a risk, and we know the market has their ups and downs. But if you were actively contributing, I tell you, well, you actively contributing. It's no different. The only difference is you have your money sitting here. It's actually going up and down. But if I can protect you from loss, and people be like, yeah, you're right. I still haven't spoke about money. I just told them, hey, we're trying to protect you from loss. But that subject matter expert, Miss Somerville, will break down how that works. Miss Giles will break down how that works for me and you. And then from there, guys, you set an appointment. You first and foremost, you should be setting the appointment with either Kali, Corinne, or myself. If none of those agents can help you, then you will go off to the SRS team. All three of us know how to write annuities or how to sell the annuities. Somebody had a question?
Got a question. Is the annuity in addition, in other words, do you have to sell the life product and the annuity in addition to it, or can the annuity be a standalone? And I'll tell you why I'm asking. Yesterday, the client that Kali helped me with, he said he's been putting money away for years. He says it doesn't make sense to pay $150 a month when he could put the same $150 in whatever account he's putting it in and come up in a year or two with the same amount. And I'm like, okay. So that tells me right there, he's got money he's been saving. So there's his account. I've already uncovered it. Okay. But he doesn't want to buy insurance. Could I say to him, hey, if I could show you a way to, protect your money that you've been putting away and not have to suffer the ups and downs of the market, is this something you'd be interested in? But he's not buying insurance. I already know he's not buying the insurance. He already told me.
Absolutely. Yes. So he's
That's what
participating.
happened yesterday.
Yeah, so that's a way. And
Oh.
then the other way that
So I
I
can sell it alone as a standalone product.
yeah, so you may
Okay,
find
good.
like so on Thanksgiving, they had the SRS coil. And no lie, Mike Fowl said, "Hey, this is how I learned when I should insert the annuity." Sometimes people see no value of getting the life insurance because they've been saving money for that whole amount of time. So that's when he inserted, so hey, how about we protect your money? You participate with the market. And that's when he sold an annuity. There are different types of annuity. So that's why you're getting the professional. There are annuities where that client can start to participate with $400 a month, or they had a standalone annuity just sitting there. So there are different types of annuity. And then you have to be mindful that you have to listen to your client. I just was telling Kali and Corinne, hey, on my 2 o'clock call, I need you guys to sit in and actually listen to me. Here's what, but now I'm thinking about it. That SRS training gave me the foundation. It said sometime, and I used it. The next day I used it. Mike Fowl said, hey, you may get a client and he's in remission of cancer, but he has money sitting there. So you say, hey, how about I participate your old, he had a, so the next day I used it. I found $40,000 asking the golden question. He was in remission of cancer. I knew he already had AIG, so I had nothing to give him, correct? So he had the $40,000 sitting there in his TSP from years ago. I said, how about I protect the $40,000? I don't give you a bill. Your money will grow in the market. I show him the illustration because I know how to do it. And he sold. I don't give him a bill. His money been sitting there. His money will start to grow. I show him that it'll be a death benefit as well if anything were to happen to him. And he sold. So we got to pay attention to that client. So that was good, Mark, of bringing that up. You found the money. I have a client today and I told Kali and Corinne, hey, I need you to sit in. But the client says, I have $650 max to spend. He wants $150,000 of life insurance, but he has cancer. He just found out 2 days ago he got cancer. Can I give him $150,000 of life insurance? No, I can't. But the minute I spoke to Kali, she said he can get 25,000 guaranteed issue, but he also can do a standalone annuity. So that's the purpose of seeking an expert or being on live dials. So that was great, Mark. Everybody catch that?
I want to tell it won't show up. It won't show up on my webcam. But I'm reading the book. I don't know if you can see it. I'm reading the book Annuities.
I will take him to wash his.
Annuities for Dummies. This book, it shows there's like thousands of different annuities, but it doesn't show you how to sell them. What it does, it gives you like a basis to answer questions when they ask, how long is it, what, that kind of thing.
So,
Mark needs that FIA book.
yeah. So in the beginning, we're not selling the annuities. You're subject.
I understand that,
Yeah.
but this helps you understand what it is.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's good. So what's the name of the book? Annuities for Dummies?
Yep.
And then they also do have the book that's Kali's talking about, the FIA book. So guys,
What's that book called? Because I get off of Amazon.
When I get back home, you got it, Amaka?
Yeah, hold on 1 second.
But my book collection is growing by leaps and bounds.
I bet.
Amazon loves me.
I'll get it here in a second. Well, I'll get it after we're
We're
through.
not going anywhere. We're here every day. When you get it, send it. That's all. Very
Yeah,
simple.
yeah,
Dean got it. Dean, take a picture of it and post it in Discord.
yeah.
That'll be added to my Christmas gift list.
All right. So the last thing we're gonna do is ask for help. So when we're selling that subject matter expert and we're setting up an appointment. So who you're gonna set up the appointment with, guys? So I'm gonna tell you right now, for me, I set up an appointment. Khalid helped me with my first annuity. Frank helped me with my second. Do the annuity with your team. You only got to give your team 30%. Time is money. But if you go to the SRS help team, you will have to give them 50% or you'll get 10%. If you don't want anything to do with the annuity, they sell the whole annuity, they give you 10% of your sale. If they help you with the annuity the same way the team here will help you, they'll take 30%, you'll take 70% of the sale. And that's just my advice to you. I've used Frank, I've used Kali, and I used Corinne until I can get where I wanted to do. And I've also used Dean because they were not in the vicinity to help me at that time. And then you got to remember, with friends and family, what's the saying called when you're too close for comfort? Sometimes your friends and family don't want to hear from you. So you got to put that professional in front of them. So what's the first thing we cover, guys?
Finding the money.
Finding the money. What do we use to find the money? What should be present at all times?
Script and the client intake sheet.
The script.
Yes, ma'am.
What's next after the script?
Client work.
Client inventory.
Right on there.
Okay, so in the client inventory sheet, what is discovered? What do we do in the client inventory sheet?
We'll find out if they have any stocks, any 401k, any bonds, mutual funds, anything that is now.
You answering all those medical questions, the financial questions in one, and it's going to keep you aligned to find the money, guys. Sorry.
I'll tell you.
You can
Like they're
change
bragging on themselves.
you can change the dynamics of your entire sales finding annuity money. Because what do they say? They say it's 99% chargebackable, if that's a word. You rarely see an annuity customer charging back. Here's what they get: all types of benefits. They're protected from loss. 9 times out of 10, they're getting a bonus for putting their money in there. They're growing with the market, and they get 10% of their gains on an annual basis. So there's so many benefits, but you're not selling the annuity. You're selling the subject matter expert. You're scheduling them within how many days? How many days you're scheduling the appointment?
2 days. Like if it's not the next day, then you don't want to. Yes, ma'am.
So you want to schedule within a week.
Oh, a week. Yes.
Remember, all those senior ranking people, Kalika, and they got things on their calendar. So you want to get with them or get with me, and you want to schedule the appointment within a week. You're selling that subject matter expert, and you want to sell the appointment within a week. So you ask for help, and then they take over on the appointment. But Kali, are you there?
I'm here. I was trying to get unmuted.
All right. Do you still want me to show them how to find it on Gateway?
Find it on Gateway.
If they didn't find one of us to get help.
No, I mean, we got between me, you, Corinne, Frank, Mike. I mean, that's 5 different resources.
Okay.
Make sure that everybody has Frank and Mike's phone number. So it should, it should start with us, and then if none of us are available, then Frank or Mike, and then if none of us, I can't imagine none of us being available.
So you should start in the house. Meaning, when I say in the house is Phoenix or high voltage.
Are you
And
talking
then-
about Frank Euphemia? Euphemia?
Yes, or
Okay.
Mike File.
All right, got his number. Good.
All right, so the first person you should be asking is any three of the ladies within the team to help you out. If they can't help you out, then we're gonna outsource to Mike File or Frank Euphemia. Everybody got that?
Gotcha.
So the difference between that, each of those individuals will cut you they'll cut you your 70% and you'll get 30% of the sale. If you go the other route, you're either doing 50-50 or you're doing 90-10. Because time is money for any agent that helps you out.
Getting 10%, you might as well not even bother.
All right, what are your questions? What are you uncertain about? What are you unclear about? What are your questions?
What carriers do you need to sell annuities?
So, you have to do some annuity training. That's on the Agent Hub. It's like the same thing most of you do for IUO. It's right next to hand in hand to one another. But the carriers for annuity, I think FFL's prime carrier is Athene. You also can use NLG and you also can use FNG. That's a great question. Who else has a question? And the other thing I will tell you about getting Athene, it ain't just you going to get contracted like how you got Transamerica or Americo. Do the training first. You show Zakira proof that you did the training, and then you get Athene. The other thing when you get Athene is you have to do a series of classes, guys. So it's just not like getting the Transamerica and bam, you were ready to sell. You got to do a series of classes. And with those classes, all 10 questions got to be correct. So every class, you don't have room to get 70%. They have to be 100%. So you got to be super focused and it's timely.
Do you do that before or after you get contracted with Athene?
After you get contracted. So if you're starting to ask the golden question, do your homework at night. Go do the training, shoot Zakira the certificate on Monday or Tuesday. She gets you contracted. When you get contracted, you're going to start those courses. You need to do 100% on each course. It ain't slam bam, thank you, ma'am. Next question.
Amaka, I want to make sure, let me talk about the money real quick, with the annuity. So guys, so Amaka said you have like a 99% chance of the annuity not charging back, number one. And if you write with your first annuity up to $100,000 in production, so let's just say your first annuity is 100,000. The percentage rate on 100,000 for a new agent is 5.25%. So if you move $100,000 for somebody from their old 401k into an Athene annuity, it's going to make you $5,200. And if you do 10,000, you do 200,000, it's going to actually pay you a little bit more because the commission rate goes up for every few thousand in production, and it's based on lifetime production, not monthly production. So if everybody on this phone just found an extra 100,000 a month in annuity money, that's bare minimum an extra $5,000 in your bank account. So and then it also counts on the scoreboard. It counts for 10%. So if you have a $100,000 annuity, that's going to count for 10,000 in production as well. So that'll get your production up, that'll get your money up, and that'll get your chargebacks down because those people are more likely to keep the annuity in place. The reason that annuities generally charge back is because the person dies within the first year. But outside of that, people get the annuity and they don't change companies because it's a lot of trouble for them to get in the first place, or they feel like it's a lot of trouble for them to get in the first place. So just remember the money that's attached to the annuities. And then the other thing is that if you do have a client, let's say they have a life insurance policy and they have an annuity with you, they're less likely to let go of any of those things, because the more products that they have with you, the more likely they are to keep everything with you, because it feels like they got a package or a bundle deal. And so that's another reason to keep the annuities, because to start incorporating annuities, because those clients will keep their life insurance policies on the books much longer, because if they feel like it's all in one, even though it's two separate products. Does anybody have any questions about that?
Yeah, is there residual income from that as well?
No.
Okay.
Not for the one-time annuity.
Gotcha.
But I mean, $5,200 for one sale is not a bad deal.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Amaka, did you have anything else you wanted me to cover?
Nothing else.
I have a question in regards to the courses that are required to be qualified to sell annuities. Do you have to renew those courses every year?
No.
They'll come in and tell you when you have to do like one course, but no, you don't have to renew the courses every year.
Okay.
The other thing I'm gonna tell you guys, FFL supplies you training. I was on the annuity one-on-one call, and I put the announcement, told the team we're gonna be on the annuity one-on-one call and the SRS call. And for me, I'm watching people talk while the SRS call is the annuity one-on-one. We don't have new members on. I know how to sell an annuity. There's always something that you're gonna get that's valuable from training. You don't know enough. And I could say I'm the phone connoisseur. I'm confident about selling. I'm always seeking Khalid or Corinne's feedback, or when I'm putting my back against the wall or I'm going into appointment, I still want them to hear. I was talking to a client that lost his father. I want them to hear, guys. I don't care what they're going to tell me. I know they're not going to guide me into the wrong space where I'm not going to make the sale or I'm giving the client the wrong advice. Here's what, those classes are there. You should be on the training when the training is in place. Unless you had an active client, just like how Corinne is helping an agent with a client prior to the class, that's the only way you should be missing it. If you were stuck with a client, but they're giving annuity one-on-one training. If you're not selling annuities, you should be in there. Even if you were a seasoned agent. SRS training call, you should be there. You're not selling annuities. And here's what, it is an insurance product. And we do have another expert on the standalone annuities. Lucy can assist as well. The annuities where you're participating, giving money every month, she knows how to do them as well. Hey guys, if you are not tuned in, you're not ready to make money.
So to sort of kind of following up with the previous question, so there's not a certain, like a certificate that you got to have to sell annuities. Is that what you're telling us?
Your insurance license says you can sell annuities, but for each carrier, they might be a course or two that you have to get. With Athene, you have to take a few courses after you get contracted. And all the courses you have to answer perfectly on there.
Okay. Thanks. Because I was under the impression that there was some specific certification that you had to have in addition to your license to sell the annuities. Some additional training.
We're selling
like
we're selling fixed index annuities. We're not selling any variable products, because we don't sell variable products. We don't need a series 6. We just need our life insurance license.
All right. Okay. That answers my question. Yes. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Kylie. Yeah, I was kind of lost with that. Any more questions regarding the annuities?
I don't know if you guys covered this when I stepped out or not, but is there a minimum amount that they should have in like in their 401k or anything that can be converted?
Okay, for Athene, I know that the minimum amount is 10K. Lucy, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah. So what about for like NLG? What is the minimum amount to
There's no minimum amount. There's a program NLG, and their training is a lot easier than Athene anyway. But it's for the folks that may just want to open an annuity for $100 a month. They don't care. I mean, you don't make a lot on it, but if the minimum for a national life group is like $100, they don't really have to have anything to convert or transfer. So
All
it's
right,
very good.
that's good
Yeah,
to
they pay you
know.
good.
So
Yeah.
that's for the person who may
Yeah.
have cancer or sick, just like how I
Yeah.
have that. He can do that and start making a death benefit and participate in the market and gives his money gains.
Or
Yeah.
they have less than 10,000. So I'm helping Sabrina with one of her
Yeah.
clients that he has an old 401k but only has like $4,000 in it. So
That's
we're going to move the $4,000 to NLG, and then
Mhm.
he's going to be contributing on a monthly basis to that $4,000. So that's something
Yeah.
else. Like if somebody has less than 10,000 in an old 401k or old
Mhm.
savings, we can move it to NLG. But with Athene, the minimum is 10,000. So if they have 10, if they got at least 10, you always want to use Athene because NLG really doesn't pay much. It's just so that we can really help the client. But if you got somebody with 10 grand, Athene is a company we want to use, 10 grand or more. And that's for, so here's the other thing too, guys. Athene only sells single premium annuities. So they cannot contribute on a monthly basis to the Athene annuity.
That's
So
right.
if whatever money if they're moving money from an old 401k to Athene, they're not able to add to it on a monthly basis. NLG does have the ability to be able to put money away on a monthly basis. So that's going to be the difference. And F&G too has annuity products. Lucy, have you used any of the F&G products?
No, I have not. Is it different? I haven't
I don't
used
know. I don't know
FNG.
either. I don't have
Yeah.
an answer.
I like NLG because it's easier, it's faster, and they don't have no waiting at all. So it's quickly.
Okay. Thanks,
Yeah.
Lucy.
Yeah.
All right, guys, there it is. Any more
There
questions?
it is. There it is.
Yeah, I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So if they contribute monthly, is that just a one-time payout still if they contribute monthly versus, singly contributing?
Lucy,
Oh,
is
it's
a one-time payout?
Well, remember, if you talk, what are you talking about? The annuities where people can book up $100 a month, stuff like that. The little
$100.
ones.
Yeah.
Well, but those are like for the people that they can't put it anywhere else. They want it to grow a little. No, those are like the people that are
I
younger
mean,
for the most
no,
part.
she asked
The
if it's a
payout.
one-time pay. Yeah. Or are they paying them like every month as they pay? Is it a one-time payout or is
Well, are
regular?
I
you
guess
talking about the money
I'm confused
they
about her
pay it every
question.
month?
The
Yeah, I'm
question
Okay.
doesn't
confused.
make sense.
Yeah, I
Okay,
don't
got
understand
it.
the
In
question.
regards to commission for the agent,
Mhm.
like if
Oh, you
somebody's
talking about commission?
Yeah, she's
yeah,
talking about commission.
yeah,
Oh, so I'm pretty sure you get paid every time they put money in, but it's going to be a
Mhm.
very, very small. It's going to probably be
yeah,
pittance.
okay.
It's not
And
going to be
then
anything significant at all.
Okay. And
No.
then now, because of how you almost answered the question, my wheels
Mhm.
are turning more. So how is that client paid then? You know what I mean? As they contribute. Is that
So,
monthly or?
no. So with an annuity is meant for retirement,
Right.
right?
Okay.
So different from an IUL is strictly meant for retirement. So all the annuities, and I don't have all the details. I just learned about the NLG one yesterday. That's the
Yeah.
contributing one. But
Yeah.
all the annuities generally have some kind of time period before they can withdraw the money. And so it can be set up where they can have like a monthly or a yearly withdrawal, or it can be set up where they take a one-time lump sum payment, but it's going to depend on the time period that they have to keep the money in annuity. So the catch with the annuity, and I think we're going to do a training more in depth about like annuities and how they work. We wanted to do this today so that you guys understood at least how to find the money, right? Looking for the money, find the money, and then we'll talk about how the annuity works. But just overall, and like I said, like Athene has a 7-year annuity, they have a 10-year annuity, they have a 15-year annuity. And so if you set them up with a 7-year annuity, the catch to the annuities is that the money has to stay there for a specific period of time. And so that's the big catch to an annuity. And so, because people are like, well, how can you give me, it's no fees, it's, it only gains from when the market goes up and I can't lose any money. People want to know the catch, and that's the catch, is the money has to stay there to be able to work the way it's supposed to work. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Who was that asked?
Jamie Dillard or Jamie
Okay,
Marie.
hey Jamie. Okay.
Hey.
Yeah. Did they answer all your questions?
Yep, it sure did.
Okay,
Thank you.
cool. You're welcome. Amaka, anything else?
Nope.
Does anybody else have any questions?
I think we're good. Khalid.
Yes.
So remember, for everybody, of course, for everybody else, right? So as we've learned, our biggest money maker is always going to be our life insurance. So therefore, when we do annuities, the biggest money is when people have a lot of money to transfer. Never put somebody into an annuity when they don't even have their own reserves, because if a person starts giving money for annuity and they want to say, but I want to save, if she's 30 years old and she has no reserves, you really didn't help her, because she's going to have to, if she needs that money a year or two from now, if she's only 30 and she put her money in an annuity like that, like little people, $100, $200, and they have nothing to it, they have transfer or nothing. If they don't have no reserves for their own money saving up for other things, they're going to withdraw from that. And so that will be no good, because the penalty is very high. That's why we just do it just because. It's for the people.
Yes.
That's why
we're just talking about finding the money.
Yeah.
And then getting one of us involved so we can explain all that process to the client. And then when we explain it to the client, everybody's going to start to understand how this works. So thank you for that, Lucy.
Yep. You're not selling the annuity. You're just getting that subject matter expert in cahoots so they can sell the annuity. You're not selling it.
I think this was good training. Does everybody else, no other questions? So who's going to be starting to ask the golden question today? I can't see I got the phone up to my ears. Amaka, can you tell me who's saying yes?
Mark, Lady Faith, Jamie, Marie, Erica, Kevin, of course, Sunita.
I have a question really quick about that, because when I just got I just tried to get the contracting done for NLG, and one of the questions that they asked me was about a 4-hour annuity course. Does anybody know where I go to do that?
No, you're gonna call them, Katie.
Okay.
I don't remember doing no 4-hour annuity. When you call them, let me know, because I haven't done it.
You have to do a 4-hour course, Carly.
Okay, I still don't know where to go to find it, and
I did mine through Athene.
No, she's talking about NLG's course, because NLG has a separate course from Athene.
I don't think it takes 4 hours. This is the maximum. Some people read rapidly, so it depends on your speed. I think what they mean is it could take up to 4 hours.
But that's something you have to do before you can get contracted, right?
Correct.
No,
for that,
no,
no.
Lucy, can you just mute Lucy, okay? So this is after you get contracted, you have to do specific carrier training for annuities.
Okay.
You can't get to it until you have the carrier to access the training, because it's specific to them. It has nothing to do with the state. It has to do specifically with Athene has their own training for their products. NLG has their own training for their products. Another thing that Lucy mentioned too, a part of the process is in the application is understanding the suitability. So the insurance companies aren't going to approve everybody. Athene is not going to approve everybody for annuity just because they want it. They have to get qualified for it as well. and the qualifications for annuities has nothing to do with health. It has to do with their financial situation. So if they don't have enough finances outside of moving that money, the insurance company is not going to move the money because they're at risk for taking the money early. So that's the same thing is, and I don't think Amaka mentioned that part, but annuities is a approval process as well.
Nope, I ain't mentioned that part.
Because we're going to do another annuity training, but since we're here talking about this,
Just
what we're
to make
talking about, yeah.
find the money.
We got another 4 minutes, guys. And I want to just make sure, guys, lock in on your calendar. Every Thursday at 11 Eastern time is the SRS call. And that's the hearing from the best people in the company about how they're doing IULs and how they're doing annuities. So like, I mean, what everybody should be doing, if they have a training, you should have that on your schedule so that you're not scheduling appointments at the same time as the training. Now, if your appointment before runs over, it's nothing you can do about that. But we should not be scheduling trainings. I mean, we should not be scheduling client appointments at the same time we have trainings going on, because we need to be at the training so that we can get better, all of us. Somebody else had a question?
I went to the annuity training at the beginning of November, and I signed up for the 11 videos. Do I start from there, from the integrity, just watch all 11 videos, or?
You're just going to take the annuity training. That's in it. I don't know how many videos there are.
Okay.
But the ones that are the annuity training, you want to take that one.
All right.
And then you can get contracted with a theme. Anything else, guys? Amaka, did you have anything else you wanted to go over?
Nope, they got everything. Script, client
All
work,
right. So we should be finding some money.
find that money.
Spam.
All right.
Thank you all. It was a great training.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Oh man, where everybody go?
We're done, right, darling?